we have Patricia Ovidio, Associated Partner at McKinsey Company, and Xavier Riba, Engagement Manager at McKinsey Company, who are going to share their wonderful insights about the industry and energy transition here in Spain. So give it a big hand, please. Round of applause. Please join us on stage. Thank you very much.
Do we have like a thing? Sorry. Should I go to the other side? Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for being here and for listening. I'm Patricia. I'm an associate partner from the Lisbon office, and I'm one of the leaders in the sustainability practice for McKinsey.
And I'm Xavier Riba, engagement manager from the Barcelona office, also from the energy and sustainability practice, currently leading operationally the industry and energy transition hub, which we will talk about now.
So I think we're very excited to be here. I think we are living very exciting times, and I'm pretty sure you've been covering a lot of this throughout today and tomorrow, and quite frankly, in your day today. And so I think super excited, super relevant to be here today. If you only listen to 3 things of what we say today, I wanted to come across these 3 messages. I think the first one is that we are indeed facing this unprecedented opportunity to create value and to bring a sustainable transition. That said, there is some timestamp that goes with this. You need to act now. And that kind of brings us to our second message, which is to capture this opportunity, we need to think structurally different on how to tackle it. And we need to combine what our incumbents have today as far as firepower and how the capabilities and that they've been able to scale throughout the years, with a lot of what I think today this summit is about, the startup agility, the speed, the purpose, the drive that this young blood has. Final third message that we also wanted to convey today. We, McKinsey, we are today partnering with a lot of green business building companies, and we are very much committed to the energy transition, and we have a lot of resources invested in it. And in Iberia specifically, we are driving a think tank that we call the Industry and Energy Transition Hub that Xavi commented he's driving, and that we want to also talk to you a bit more about today. Now, going into a little bit more of the detail. The energy transition, as we know today, I think there are some commonalities across regions, across countries, across sectors. So it's going to require a lot of investment. It's going to require a lot of attention and a lot of commitment from all. But there are also some specificities that are very much regional, and that it leads to a fairly lead to a fairly uneven transition. Where some countries or some regions have a bigger competitive advantage versus others. Spain in particularly, and we'll go into depth a bit more about it, is in a very good place today to capture this. This opportunity and this investment opportunity and value pool, I think we see it across a number of sectors. I would like to highlight the industry role behind all of this. I know it's there a bit small, the value pool that you have specifically for industry, but if you think through the value chain and the value pool of sectors like transport, of buildings, there is a massive industry chain and a massive industry component of this value chain that is enabling all of these value pools. In transports, all of the automotive industry that you have behind, and for example, in Spain, it's relevant. Buildings, the steel that you require to make this happen. And so industry is something that for us, it's very much present across the value pools of the energy transition and should be very much relevant.
Yes, so Patricia was talking right now about the huge opportunity that this energy transition is going to entail to all industries and to all countries around the world. But so far, what we have been observing in Europe is that there is a time window opportunity, and we are losing that opportunity. During the last 20 years, what we have seen actually is a deindustrialization of our economy. And here in Spain, this has happened even faster than in the rest of Europe. However, it's time for hope right now. Because what we are seeing also is that these huge opportunities, this huge disruption will affect differently all the different countries around the world. And for once, Spain and Portugal are actually in a position of privilege. They have a competitive advantage against other countries, mainly because we have lower costs of renewable energy sources. As we have more sunny days, the costs of solar energies, for example, is much lower, and therefore some energy vectors such as green hydrogen will also have a much lower cost here than elsewhere. Additionally, we also have certain input materials that will help on this energy transition, such as lithium or biogenic CO2. And there is an existing industrial base and infrastructure that could help that everything comes together and we re-emerge our industry during the next years. Actually, the concrete opportunities that we are seeing are, on the one hand, on the energy play, we are seeing opportunities in renewables, in electrification, but also in new energy vectors such as green molecules, such as biomethane, biofuels, and also, as I was talking right now, on green hydrogen and derivatives. All of this needs to fuel our new industries. And, well, the existing industries and the emerging industries. Existing industries through these lower cost energy vectors, but also new value chains such as the electric vehicles ecosystem, the battery ecosystem, or even green ammonia, green steel that could re-emerge and take place here in Iberia. To put some numbers to the opportunity, what we are seeing is on electrification, we've estimated that we could nearly double the renewable energy sources capacity on the power mix. We've seen that there is a huge opportunity on the biomethane area, which is still to be explored. There are also opportunities in biofuels and, as I was saying also before, in green hydrogen. Synthetic fuels, green steel, green ammonia are all different resources that could be created and emerge here. Now, all of these could have an impact on our industries. On the existing ones, we have estimated that even they could increase their EBITDAs even by 4 percentage points thanks to these competitive advantages. And also we've seen that there is a huge investment potential on these industries I was talking about, of up to 40 billion euros. Actually, the total amount of investment potential that we see for Spain until 2030 is up to nearly 150 billion, distributed across all the different industries and sectors I was talking about. This will have, obviously, a huge impact on the current companies and industries that exist now in Spain, but also in the society as a whole. We've estimated that the impact on GDP could be up to 15 percentage points, and more than 1 million jobs could be created thanks to the re-emergence of all of these industries.
So why is this also, or how to bring this to life from a business perspective, right? How to bring what are the implications and the bringing this to a tangible step. We asked about 1,000 folks in the space a few questions in a survey we did a few months back, and a couple of interesting results we wanted to share with you today. The first one is that in about 2 years' time, they anticipate that about half of their revenue is going to come from new businesses, services, products. So in 2 years' time, half of the revenue, quite frankly, we don't know today where it's going to come from. But I think it's exciting, but also a bit scary at the same time. The second point is that 90%, or actually more than 90% of these executives, they told us that in about 5 years, whatever new businesses, products, services that they will come up with, they're going to be in some shape or form related to sustainability. And so I think this creates, for us in the way we see it, a big opportunity on, okay, half of this revenue is going to come from new businesses. 90% of them think it's going to be in some shape or form related to sustainability. So how do we create these new green businesses? And how do we make them a reality within this fairly short time frame? The way we think about this is that this recipe for this green business building, it needs to somehow combine what incumbents have as far as firepower goes. So they have access to an established base of customers, for example. They have access to capital, to awareness of who they are, and they are able to reach quite an extensive amount of people. But on the other side, they are not typically super fast or super agile or super innovative. And here I'm being a bit bold, and apologies if I'm kind of stepping on somebody's and offending a bit, but kind of to convey the message that they're big, and big comes with good parts, but it also comes with some slowness. Startups, on the other hand, are kind of the flip side of this, right? They're much more agile, the way they think about it. They are very much driven in a very specific purpose and ambition. If on the other side, they have a bit less of these established customers and established bases and capital in the sectors. And so, if you combine both of these, and you combine the firepower of incumbents and this drive and this will of startups and their agility, for us, this is kind of what we're calling the holy grail of what green business building is all about. And this is a bit what we also try to do as a firm with our clients. So bringing some of this speed, some of this agility to more incumbents, and in some way trying to work together with some of the startups to try to understand how do you overcome and how do you bring this firepower to them so that they're able to scale up. In a bit more concrete terms of how is it that we see and that we think about this green business growth. So 7 key themes to bring this huge ambition fast and to deliver. First one, indeed, ambition. I think you got to start there. You got to have a very clear North Star that's going to be game-changing, and that's going to be to rally folks around you and to get that purpose going. Second one, demand. I think in this one, it might seem trivial, but you got to be addressing a need. There's got to be this push to address. Third one, this costs. So I think throughout the journey on most of the green business buildings that we see, it's a struggle for profitability. And so understanding right at the front, what is your cost advantage? How is it that we can scale? When? How? It's a very important piece. Fourth one, around technology. I think we just saw that about half of the folks think that it's going to come from new product services and so on. And so there's an element of novelty to the technologies, but at the same time, you gotta have some sort of fairly clear pathway to when is this technology going to mature, are you going to be able to scale it, and this pathway you need to see it and be fairly credible that this technology has a maturity within the time frame that you're looking for. At the same time, and bringing me to the fifth point on the maturity and the scalability, you got to prepare and have the capacity to scale, and so create this install capacity to bring your product or service to life when it's time. Sixth one, acknowledge that it's probably very hard to do it by yourself. And you don't have to, quite frankly. So creating this ecosystem around it, could be through equity partnerships, however you want to construct it. Creating this ecosystem, it's going to be fundamental to achieve a successful green business building. And finally, arguably most important, people. You got to surround yourself early on with the right people, recruiting the right amount of resources, with the knowledge, with the drive to bring your green business to reality. We have done this in the past with hundreds of clients in multiple ways. We have partnered with both incumbents, with startups, in multiple forms, including having some skin in the game and tying also our metrics and goals with the shareholders as well. You have a couple of examples here around partnering with startups like around the green steel or solar services, or also with some more traditional companies, so to speak, on for example, you have circular textiles, or in agriculture, for example, a bit more also to understand the full breadth of this energy transition related topics. Just before I move on to you, Xavi, this is a bit around the green business building, but we also, which is fairly broad. On Iberia specific, we are also driving a big initiative more around the think tank that tries to combine a lot of players in the sector. And here, Xavi, I'll move to you, that is leading us.
Sure. So in order to capture the opportunity I was talking about before in Spain and Portugal, what we've created is actually the leading think tank on the energy transition and industrialization of Iberia. The idea was to create an initiative together with institutions from the industry, from the financial sector, from the energy sector as well, with a dual purpose. On the one hand, create preeminent knowledge around the key topics of the energy transition, and on the other hand help accelerate all the required and potential investments that we were foreseeing for the different areas I was talking about before. Specifically, what we've created, if you go to the next page, is this think tank together with institutions from many different sectors. We've got, as I was saying, some institutions from some financial institutions, such as BBVA, that has been a core member since the beginning of the creation of the hub. But we've got, as you can see here, more than 15 different companies and partners that have helped us create and build up this industry and energy transition hub. What we've done so far is actually launched 3 different missions, we've called them. One for the electrification and renewables space, one for green molecules, and one for hydrogen. And together with all the institutions that are part of the hub, we've been creating a perspective on how can Spain lead on all these 3 different areas. And by perspective, we mean what is the current status of all of these different energy vectors? What should be our ambition for Spain in order to capture these opportunities? What are the main challenges that we are actually encountering? And finally, what could be potential solutions to achieve those challenges, to overcome those challenges? What we've done is, through a roundtable format, we've been doing sessions with all of these institutions all together to try to understand what's their perspective, get their input, create this general narrative on the different verticals, and start putting what solutions could we do out there in order to overcome those challenges that are many in many of these industries, and for sure you know, and in order to achieve the enormous opportunity we have ahead.
And so final notes, and mindful we're the bottleneck between all of you and drinks. I think two invitations that we reach out to you. I think first one, if you want get to know us a bit more, there is a number of ways to do it. There are some green business building summits, for example, that we host. Next one is going to be in a couple of weeks in Stockholm. You can also, reach out to us. The contacts are here. Happy to connect you with any expert or share any insights on any specific topic on the energy transition, or just broadly on sustainability, decarbonization, and energy transition topics. And the second invitation that we extend is that if you also want to find out more about the opportunity in specific in Spain and Portugal, and what we are driving in the industry and energy transition hub, please reach out. More than happy to also catch up and tell you a little bit more about it, and so that we can also move this hub from about 15, keep me honest here, the participants today, to actually scale it to a leading think tank with 40, 50 folks from different sectors and different types of players. So, and thank you very much for the listening. Any questions, anything that you would also like to discuss further, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.